What is something you are convinced people do or pretend to like to seem more sophisticated? Ask long-winded questions during lectures, armors, etc. that they either don't really care about or already know the answer to look intelligent. Luxury brands. Some patterns are so ugly, like the Gucci one. The designs are so weird. Eat Snickers with a knife and fork. It is to my belief that many members of our worldwide civilization prefer to elongate the complexity of their lexicon in order to impress a higher degree of intellectual sophistication than one may conclude otherwise. Replying with "yeah, I know" to every piece of information. If you have someone like that around you, I beg you to tell them a made-up fact, and trust me, they absolutely will say that they knew about it. 3-hour-long church services. Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount in like 5 minutes. Get over your ego, pastor. Talking about the colleges they could have gone to or been admitted to, if they had wanted to go there, or some unforeseen calamity hadn't hobbled their chances. Like, I totally had the grades and the perfect record to get into Harvard, but I decided not to apply because Ball State U had a much better aquatic exercise science program, which is what I was into at the time. I am unfamiliar with the foibles of the poor people. I will consult with my CPA, Charles Mac Moneybags, and see if he can make a good recommendation. People who say "I when me" is grammatically correct. Repeat the same shit in English in India, it's a big deal. Personally, I think PPL who have sofas are probably classier than PPL who have couches. I try to appear classy by saying I have a sofa. Face with rolling eyes. For me is some of the higher end wines. Wine essay sommelier now. The wine snobbiness is getting out of hand. Say they are reading or have read very dry texts, books, and telling others about it. Extremely expensive bourbon. There are so many great bottles out there for $60-80. I'm convinced if you're paying over $100, you're paying for provenance and or the created scarcity. Probably true for other liquors as well, but I personally notice it most with bourbon. Improper uses of large words. Excuse me, we are conversating. No, it's conversing. Dang, lots of wine and coffee haters here. I think some people overplay the merits of James Joyce's Ulysses, but I could just be a pleb. They sometimes use the largest and most impressive sounding words in their vocabulary incorrectly frequently to try to sound more impressive and intelligent. Make their personality coffee. LinkedIn. The PPL who look at modern art installations which consist of a giant white canvas with a small red dot and wax philosophically on how it represents the political landscape of modern society. This stupid quotes that are supposed to sound deep with a Joker image or a sunrise, etc. When your friends suddenly transition to absolutely loving red wine and call it a drop and describe it with the most commonly used description ever. They go to one wine tasting tour and it's a big thing. Anyone for a glass of red? Oh yes honey, we have that nice drop from the rolling hills of South Australia. Literally only them drinking it. But usually, the guy still decides to tell you about it. Love this drop, look at the legs on it. It's a one-sided convo, because no one cares. I don't even own a TV. I attended Harvard. Both will come up in the first 3 minutes of a conversation. They ignore their phone and their iPad and their laptop. And holy hell, the more people I meet from Harvard, the less impressed I am by the place. Being in Disney World when it's over 90 degrees and super crowded. The Disney adults really love to pretend they don't actually hate it. Bars and restaurants with loud music and terrible acoustics. What's the point in being social in a place where they're trying to make it hard for you to socialize? Polo. Water and the kind played on horses. Podcasts where the hosts just laugh at everything the other hosts' guests say. Nothing is that funny for that long, dude. They would ask a lot of questions that they think will make them sound smart, but in reality it just makes them look dumb. They will also do the same with answers, trying to use certain terms and words that sound clever but it doesn't make sense. People who pretend to be film nerds in order to be gatekeepers. I don't understand why people buy the newest Apple products every time they come out. They're too damn expensive for what they are, in my opinion. If you have to ask, you can't afford it, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I like all kinds of beer, even the funky ones. I have my Brewers Assistant cert. But I think some people take it a bit too far and make it their personalities. Pretentious complex grammar. Real scientists strive to explain complex things in easy words, not the other way around. Having constant drama at work, in friend groups, and elsewhere really can't be all that exciting. Can it? If I have one friend causing me too much drama, I usually avoid it like it's the plague. Claim to like Hennessy. People that say I don't watch TV. Then when you dig a bit, they say, well, I don't watch regular network TV, but I do watch streamers and movies. You watch TV. Listen to music that is deliberately atonal. Wine tasting. I'm a cook and we got a new manager. Every time you ask him a question, he responds with some long, roundabout answer. I ask him yes/no questions and I get a dissertation. Finally, when he finishes, I'll say so no. Ulysses by James Joyce. Chess. It's fun. I do believe that a lot of people play just to seem smart though. Here is a don't have to be smart to be good at chess. The people who vacation a lot and post it all to Instagram. I get that vacation is nice, but I swear a few people I know are on those vacations to have the photo and don't really give a shit about the vacation. Musical episodes of shows. Wealthy people like to pretend they are progressives in terms of human rights for minorities, immigrants, LGBTQ, etc. But it's a PR maneuver. Being pretentious. Just because you say you don't like something doesn't make you the king of all things. Cigars. Escargot. I've had it, it's nasty. I swear people only say they like it to appear sophisticated. That and caviar. Talk like you are reading from a thesaurus. Parrots can memorize words. You are not special. Tell you they like the book more than the film. For every single film. Ever. Hamilton. Caviar. Order drinks with extra words. You don't need to order a top-shelf old-fashioned, up, and on the rocks. It's either up or on the rocks. Just say you don't know how to order your drink and go. Kombucha. How is it possible that people like that? Reading research papers. Virtually everybody throws around research on something online. Myself included, hee. They might not have literally read the research paper, and only some article about some paper which actually has mixed results and a poor method. The IT industry as a whole. I think it's one of the biggest ego-boosting industries outside of executive-type positions because of how most people just don't understand the internet. Plus, right now it's paradoxically one of the worst industries to get started. Wages are so baked by boomer era. Going to Starbucks. Shopping at Whole Foods. Wine tasting. I spent years studying to try to be an expert on hard spirits and wines. Even when you know your shit, there's all kinds of varied assessments of flavors and notes in a spirit. I can't tell you how often I have seen people not even able to discern the simplest descriptors like sweet v fruity correctly. Just enjoy the wine if you like it. Pretentiousness in wine tasting is just lame and boring